Texas country music lovers, welcome back to another episode of Texas Music Reviews, live from Sawyer Park and brought to you by Texas Country Music Association. We also want to send a special thank you to our new camera sponsor, BURKE Family Plumbing. There's a link in the description below to check out what they can do, servicing the Conroe area and doing all kinds of great stuff for the community, including sponsoring our podcast. So big thank you. Today I am joined with our new partner in crime, Zach United, man.
Is it official?
It's official.
We get to go rack them up together,
yeah,
huh?
man, you're on the letterhead now. No backing out now.
I love it. I just want to say thanks to both you and Drew Harley for asking me to join. It was an obvious no-brainer.
Man, it's an honor.
Happy to be here.
It's an honor, man. And today we have the pleasure of reviewing a song that stylistically hasn't been approached yet on this podcast. It is No Paradise by Mr. Jon Kott. And wow, what a fantastic piece, man. I don't even know where to begin. Do you want to go ahead? What's your first thoughts on this one?
So my first thoughts on No Paradise are, first of all, John's from Katy, Texas, which is not too far from where we're at right now. So I might have had a little bit of bias going into it because I love the local guys, right? Yeah. But I like this song. You know, it's a message that we've heard before. It's obviously about, someone, a man who isn't a good person, right? And he's in a love relationship with someone who's breaking up with him. It's a breakup song. You know, it's basically like, I'm a loser. You see that? You broke up with me. And I hear this song like as you have the breakup in the house and you are completely done and you're walking out the front door and the front door slams and then you get into your 86 Buick Skylark, I hear this song playing as the soundtrack to me cruising down that two-lane highway in Texas, you know?
Oh, definitely. This is an anthem for I think a lot of folks can relate to it. Loving Me is No Paradise.
Right.
And that's just with being in our industry, you know, it's a hard thing to do to love somebody, you know, that's doing this and that's constantly in the public eye and that's always working, and especially with the other different types of trials and tribulations that go on with one, being a country musician in Texas, and two, being a writer. You know, you're forcing yourself into such deep emotions and thoughts constantly, and that takes a toll on you emotionally and stuff. So I really like this one, man. It was approached with a very East Texas vocal style, something you don't really see a lot of artists doing, and when they do, they often mess it up, I think. So, yeah, I really liked it. This is one of those, I think, listeners from the area and listeners, especially from Texas, are going to be a little bit more leaning in on the critical side because there's so much room. There's a lot of room to make an error with the type of style you're approaching vocally that people from the area will see right through, but not with Jon Kott. It is bred and true and tried and tested. It just sounds completely natural and comfortable for Jon. I don't hear any mistakes in the vocal timbre or the approach that he did with the slurring, the accent, the dialect. You know, it's very well thought out, and it matches incredibly with that rock band. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, country boy with a rock band behind him. I think for people like me who come from a rock background, I grew up listening to country and rock and roll music in Texas, so I always kind of prefer a song or a band or an artist with a rock edge, I guess, right? And you definitely get that with Jon Kott.
Yeah, definitely, man, with the that guitar and all the other instruments, and I really loved, what I really liked is the relatability to his use of that vocal melody on the ooh, and, you know, the ooh, you know.
Right.
That's great because I don't think bands do that enough, and when they do, they're often they're so like cliche when it's usually approached. You know what I mean? Like, you get with the female side, the Martina McBride or the Reba kind of oohs and ahs, and then on the other side, you get your George Strait kind of vibes with the ooh and an ah, and Jason Aldean kind of vibes. But with this, it's cut in and out. It's a great motif. It relates. It gets the listener into the music with something that they can do in the song to participate.
Right.
That's great because a lot of musicians, or a lot of people that are listening, a lot of listeners to these musicians can't necessarily play these parts, but that one part is not so vocally hard, you know, like to where it's really high in range or really projected to where you got to yell or you got to use a certain vocal technique to achieve that sound. It's simple. It's beautiful. It's It's placed perfectly. The instrument, he could have chosen to have any of the instruments play that part, but I think choosing the voice for that one little insert was a very smart decision on Jon Kott.
It's definitely easy to sing along to as a casual listener, like if it's your first time listening experience with Jon or this song. But I got to give you, from being from the radio side, I got to give Jon Kott props for also getting to the hook of the song before 40 seconds. I love that. And that's one thing when I listen to any song for consideration to be, on the radio or on the radio shows, it's like, how fast are we getting to the hook? Because people's attention spans aren't there. And I'll also say this, and I told you this a little bit before we started rolling, he really sucked me in those first 38 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought into the story. I'm sitting there. I'm attentive. I'm
invested.
Listening,
yeah.
And then boom comes the hook, and I also love the fiddle.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're gonna play in Texas, gotta have a fiddle in the band. They say, right?
Yes,
but
sir.
this was nice, and the fiddle wasn't overplayed, overproduced, or lost to production. It was a nice touch to remind people that this isn't a rock band. This is closer to Texas country, red dirt even,
right.
And I think that's really cool. It's a driving beat. It's something it's very hard to sit down and get sad with, which a lot of country artists do so easily and so well. They're so good at sorrow, but this is an approach on, I think, a theme of a song that's been done so many times and yet still feels new, still feels fresh, still feels relevant. And that's quite an accomplishment. When you sing about heartbreak, I mean, there's the American Songwriter Competition every year does heartbreak lyrics, right? Heartbreak lyric competition.
Right.
So there's literally thousands of people trying to do this, songwriters, accomplished songwriters every year trying to do this. And I think this is one of the best in the area that has been offered. And grabs you right away. The style, the approach, the content. It's nice, man. It's very, very well done. So big shout out to Jon Kott, the whole team that you put together. Fantastic work. You watched the music video, yeah?
Yeah, I did like the music video. He obviously, you can see it's a country guy, Jon's country, and he has a rock band backing him. One of the guys has a dope mohawk. They're a band that I would love to see play. The fiddle player, again, really talented. The steel guitar was pretty banging in this song. I enjoyed it. And I like, going back to your point that you just made, and I'm trying to say this the right way, but it's a sad song that I didn't get depressed to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's sad because it's a breakup song, right? But it's kind of like a rockin' sad song.
Yeah. Well, I think we said in one of our other podcasts when you were here with us as well, before we finally got you as a partner, like country music is is the genre, I think, of all genres where you cannot go into this genre and be insecure about who you are or not know who you are. And this song really gives me the feeling that, like I said, with the accent, the dialect, that Jon knows exactly who he is. He knows what he stands for. He knows what he's about. He knows himself really well, and that really comes across with his approach vocally, the style, the band, everything all together. It just works. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's a really good song. It left me wanting more.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to catch Jon live.
Yeah.
I haven't ever seen him live. This was actually my first introduction to Jon Kott's music, but I left me wanting more.
Man.
That's the mission, right? As an artist.
Yes, sir.
Get me to come back.
Yeah.
Good job, Jon.
We hope we leave you wanting more. And if you got any friends that need better taste in music, send them our podcast, Texas Music Reviews, on all streaming platforms. And now on the Odyssey app. One of the top grossing apps in the country. So happy to be included and streaming on Odyssey. We're also streaming our video series on YouTube, on Texas Country Network. If you've got a Roku device, you can download Texas Country Network. Any and everything Texas country music is on there. It's like MTV used to be, but better, and Texas. And I love it. So thank you so much. Big shout out again to the TCMA. If you want to become a member and you want to see everything that we do, what we have to offer, the award shows, the different kinds of events, there is a link in the description below, as well as a link to Mr. Jon Kott's music and all of his stuff going on right there. You can find in the description below. Texas Music Reviews is now also sponsored by BURKE Family Plumbing. They bought us these awesome Sony FX30s, and we are really happy to be shooting on native 4K. So if you're watching on YouTube, you are watching our first ever 4K stream. We hope it looks beautiful. If there's any videographers out there that have tips or anything that we could do to make the podcast better, let us know. And yeah, we'll be coming to you every single week. Next week's going to have Zach United on it as well, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great time. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. If you have any questions, email texasmusicreviews@protonmail.com. My name's Harley Ray.
I'm Zach United.
And we're wishing you guys a safe and happy day, happy week. We'll see you next time. See you out there in the honky tonks.